What's shaking YouTubeites? Welcome into the cover price shakers of the week. Yeah, it's almost Friday, so you guys know what that means. Well, let's do let's do retro gaming. Let's do this one.
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. Game. EA Sports. Game. EA Sports. Game. EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. What have I got? EA Sports. Here we go. Round one, fight! Oh, you get...
Oh, that's still one of my favorites. What are you doing down there, Marty? There we go. Guys, welcome on into the cover prize shakers of the week. This list is insane. You guys are going to love it. But before we get started, let's do a little quick round table. We'll start with Lando. How's it going?
Going good, guys. I'm excited. I'm here with my new familia, so it feels good to be with you guys. And exactly what Laura said, guys, given what the market's been as of late, right, with all the hype, this one's pretty interesting.
Yeah. A lot of stuff.
This is an interesting. Lando, great to have you, man. It's excited, brother. Great to be on a show with you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
I know this is like our official crew. I love it. All right, Chris, say what's good to the people.
How's it going? Thanks for coming out this Thursday. I'm looking forward to getting through this list. This is probably an offer list, but hey, you know what? That's the nature of a Thursday shows. So get out your bingo cards and let's play along.
Bingo lingo.
There you go. There you go. Last but not least, Marty, good to have you. Say what's up.
What is up, everybody? Great to be here. I'm excited. Another great Thursday evening, great Shaker show. We got a full panel this evening, so this is going to be a good one. Have our man Chris here. We got Lando, Lady Laura running the show as always. Man, it's going to be a great night. But don't forget, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share.
There you go. Let's dive right in, guys. So if you are just hopping in, welcome. This is the Shaker Show. This list comes from our friends over at Cover Price, focusing on new high sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily Shaker list. Keep in mind that this list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it out to review some of the hottest trending books in the market. Now, these are all alphabetical, so there's not really like a rhyme or reason behind it other than the lettering. So let's kick it off with Shaker number 1. Ah, interesting.
All right, Shaker number 1.
Muted. Oh, there you go.
I am not muted.
I was going to put the thing on you, but I didn't. I was about to.
No, are you sure about that? You sure you weren't muted?
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, Shaker number 1. We have Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, number 8, by Whitman Comics in 1980. The man out of time concept has been used in literature, film, and popular culture for generations. However, Buck Rogers may be the only and the first sci-fi futurism story to enter popular culture as we know it today. Buck Rogers is a fictional character and a space adventurer who first appeared in the novella Armageddon 2419 AD by Philip Francis Nolan, which was published in 1928. He became hugely popular in comic strips, radio shows, and television and film adaptations. Rogers is often portrayed as a pilot who awakens from suspended animation in the 25th century. What makes this particular comic interesting is how rare it is. According to the CGC census, there have only been 33 copies of this book graded, and of those 33, only 5 are a 9.6. There are no, I say again, 0 9.8s on the census. Sales of this book are rare, but this is the highest sale on record of a 9.6 at $508.
Bam.
This is
It
really
seems like a good deal, right? If that's a pedigree grade, then that's like.
I mean, this isn't really that old of a comic, 1980. I know that the Whitman comics were basically, tissue paper and paper towels, but it's not that old. There should be a couple gems out there that are in pristine condition. I'm surprised.
Haven't graded them yet? I don't know.
Yeah,
so no kidding. My first lunchbox as a kid was Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Man. Even back in the 80s, we had these tin lunch boxes we used to carry to school, in elementary school and stuff. And oh man, I used to watch this all the time, sitting down with my dad, and we'll watch Buck Rogers, 25th century. Loved it. Actually met, what is her name? Erin Gray, I think her name is the girl, the lady on there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Actually met her at I met her at the convention one time. Say again.
So does anybody know why number 8 is the one that's popping and it's not?
I think it's a rarity thing. I think this issue in particular just didn't have a huge print run.
Yeah.
And it's a cool cover.
Yeah. Actually, Marty, you mentioned that you had the lunchbox. Do you remember that little silver robot guy?
Yes, I sure do.
I can't remember his name.
I don't remember his name either, man. Don't get me the line. And so I know one of the chatsters out there probably can Google it and post it up here for us. But yeah, I do remember it. I sure do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call this a name drop, but I would call it. Little Marty,
right.
Lunchbox.
You know what? I was waiting for that, Laura. I sure was. I was wondering where you were going to hit that up there.
You came right out of the gate with reminiscing. That's kind of perfect. All right, first shaker of the list. Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, number 8. So this is Whitman. Reminds me of Gold Key when I saw that. I thought it was a Gold Key book at first, but then...
I'm the old man on here, that's why.
Yeah, 1980. So top sale with a C 9.6 coming in at $508. Now, Chris was saying if any of you out there have one of these stashed away and you just haven't graded it yet, you would be the only 9.8 on the census. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. What do we have for shaker number 2?
Well, guys, this is not acupuncture treatment. This is Pinhead, guys. We have Clive Barker's Hellraiser number 1 from Boom Studios 2011. Now, the Hellraiser franchise is comprised of numerous cult classics. From the Clive Barker original to the most recent reboot in 2022, it's grown into a massive franchise. It fits snugly amongst good company consisting of Freddy, Michael, Jason. But over the years, the lexicon of Hellraiser material has steadily expanded, adding works like this book to build out the story. Comprised of an all-new short story from Clive Barker himself, and one of 3 outings he has put pen to paper for amongst the entire IP. It was marketed as the end of the Cenobites mascot Pinhead's story. Despite being a massive franchise that has spanned nearly 40 years, raw copies for this tale routinely sell for under $10, and years prior was a regular in the $5 bin. But that's what makes the graded sales interesting. Recently, a CGC 9.8 sold for $130, matching its last high sale from 2023. It's one of 40 copies in the same grade on the census, of which there are only 43 total graded copies. It's one of the few books that has over 92% of submissions come back with a 9.8 grade, a difficult grade to achieve for a cover that is a majority black, yet they comprise the majority of the market, but not sales. It shows once again that icons of the horror industry do quite well in high grades, despite being readily available for under a tenth of the cost for a raw copy. It's a prime display piece that looks wonderful amongst the other memorabilia for the franchise, and one collector recently was able to add it to theirs. Guys, Pinhead, Jason, like we said, of course, Freddy, but this is relatively cheap, $130 for a CGC 9.8, and even if you look back at earlier Pinhead books, like some, rather key books, you can pick those up for cheap as well.
Yeah. I love the Clive Barker's Hellraiser series, man. And if you can secure one of these copies right here, definitely hang on to it, because you can't go wrong when it comes to all these cult classic horrors,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, pass for me. I don't like horror. I don't think I've ever seen Freddy Krueger. I've never seen him.
Really?
My mom told me once that they'll follow you, like the bad spirits will follow you home. So now I'm like paranoid to watch anything horror-ish.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah.
You're missing out, Laura. You're missing out. You've got to watch those.
No, mark my words. You guys go and watch The Exorcist or something. You're inviting like bad energy into your house. Just mark my words. Don't watch horror.
Wow.
It's funny. My mom would say the same thing. She's like, no, turn that off.
Yeah, that's how my mom was. She's like, you're opening portals, is what she would tell us. She's like, you're opening portals, and you're like, so I never did watch them. Yeah.
Really, that's interesting. I mean, that I've never heard anybody take it to that level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, but I respect it. I absolutely respect it. I mean, everybody has their belief system, and I do respect it. So
I know people think I'm crazy. They do, but I watched what was the one with the annoying dude? Ernest Does Halloween. Scared the shit out of me.
Really?
Had those little wooden dolls that he put in the tree, and that's like probably the scariest movie I've seen.
Oh, love it.
Anyway, Chris, anything to add to this?
What about
Movie night at Chris's house.
What about Goosebumps? Did Goosebumps scare you as a kid?
No, I actually read Goosebumps. Those didn't bother me, but I don't know. Those were probably my level, I guess. This type of stuff would terrify me. I think I would have nightmares if I watched this or read it.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky. I mean, and it's really gory too. So it'd probably give you nightmares.
Yeah, It never will. Have you guys all seen It?
Yep.
Yep. Haven't seen it. Won't do it. Mm-mm.
Oh, come
No,
on.
huh? Yeah, it's a scary clown.
Yeah, that troll. It was a troll from the. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Shaker number 2. Clive Barker's Hellraiser number 1. We're getting so off track. Boom Studios from 2011, a 9.8 coming in at 130, and I'm with Lando on this. Like, I think that's a steal. Just grading this thing is like $30, but then if you're a real fan of the series, being able to drop another 100 and guarantee a 9.8 seems like the way to go.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Moving on to Shaker number 3. Wait, before we go to that, we have 64 of you in the house right now. Welcome in.
Oh, wow.
Make sure you give the show a thumbs up. I know there's a lot of them already. And sub the channel, all that jazz. What do we have next? What is this?
Thank you very much. I love this. Look at this. Number 3 brings you, Fables number 1, James Jean regular cover, published by DC in 2002. How this hasn't been adapted directly yet is a mystery, but this story would fit well on the screen. Characters from Fables nearly everyone has heard of as they grew up are cast into the real world. It's a story that numerous fans identify with. The fish out of water, the higher calling, etc., and has a healthy fan base. That's one reason fans are willing to shell out for a high-grade copy. Recently, a CGC 9.8 hit the market and sold for $382, a new all-time high sale. It sniffed that height before, as sales record for this book is all over the map. It can swing dramatically, but it has been on a steady rise since its debut. Raw copies have experienced a similar trend, but typically top out around $50 for a near mint copy and up to $100 for a near mint plus. Although it hasn't been adapted, it's one of the highest rated and most beloved vertical titles of all time. The series won 14 Eisner Awards, but typically flies under the radar for the majority of the collectors. That is, until last year, when series creator Bill Willingham got into a public dispute with DC regarding the status of the series in an issue with public domain classifications. That came with a
domain. What? I like how you got a domain.
Domain.
Domain. Public domain.
Domain. Thank you. Well, that came with a corresponding bump in value before coming back down, but recently has been experiencing a jump again. There hasn't been any news on the suit between the creator and studio, but that hasn't stopped collectors from reaching into their pockets to secure a copy. Woo! That was a mouthful.
You nailed it too. All right, I have a question. That's Snow White holding the apple. You see the pig, the 3 little pigs in the trees. The Piper's behind him. Who's crawling out of the wolf suit? Who's that supposed to be?
That's probably the wolf from Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, because they're coming to life, right?
Right. They're coming to life. They're going into the real world. So I love this. I love this concept. I really, this is up my alley, if you will. So yeah.
You guys remember the ABC show Once Upon a Time?
Yes, I do. I watched that all the way up until the final season, and I just lost interest after that.
So I think that show is why we haven't seen an adaptation of Fables, because it's very similar concept, right? Fairy tales and the real world. So I think that's the reason why. But these early Fables, before it turned into basically, TNA covers, these were really interesting reads. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And speaking covers for Fables, obviously we're talking Fables 1, but also issue number 2 is a very neat cover again by James Jean, and it's got Cinderella on it, and I'm a fan.
Nice.
I dig.
Nice.
So, to the chat, I know that Fables predated it, but predated Once Upon a Time, and I'm not surprised that there was a lawsuit with ABC over the show.
Yeah.
But I mean, nobody's releasing a comic and getting a TV deal that same year. So I mean, it has to percolate. It has to get a fan base. Definitely in the early 2000s, that was not happening. So yeah.
Oh no, definitely no.
Right. So the fact that this hasn't been adapted into a TV show, I am almost positive it is because Once Upon a Time drained that lake. People wouldn't see this, and you know what? Maybe it's time for a comeback because it's been a pretty good length of time between Once Upon a Time ending and today.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree, man. I mean, if they would make something like this and plus we have a better, I guess, better writers, better CGI, a lot of so much enhancements in technology that they can definitely do this movie like justice. Because just seeing the characters, especially the fairy tale characters, in their world, then coming to real world and becoming human, that'd be a great thing to see.
Dude, the Once Upon a Time had the Hansel and Gretel storyline, and it was creepy. Yeah, it was a good show, and Regina was just my favorite by far. She was awesome.
She was. I did like her. I did like her.
Cool. Yeah, she was really neat. That whole show.
Oh,
there's a lot of really interesting characters in the public domain that would probably go over very well if given the right treatment. So,
I agree. All right, Fables #1, James Jean, the regular cover. Like Lando was saying, make sure you check out issue 2 as well if you're like into the art. This came out in 2002 with a 9.8, selling for $382. Now, speaking of awesome covers, let's check out Shaker #4. Oh, this is my favorite Scotty Young by far.
Oh, man, I think I remember talking about this Scotty Young cover a couple weeks ago because the other version of this popped, right? This is the Scotty Young cover that I was referring to, where it looks like kind of like Iron Man's the Iron Giant, right? It's got that shiny dome and the big eyes. This is an awesome cover. But before I get into the read, we're in the middle of the list, and you know what that means. That means that I have to get the plug-in. I have to get
yeah, you do. do it.
Right? Okay, so come on, guys. How many people we got in the chat right now? How many people are watching right now?
There are 72 people in the house right now.
72 people. 72 people. That is 72 hits on the bell icon. That is 72 thumbs up. That is 72 subscribes. And that is 72 comments in the comment section. And that's only if you do it one time. Come on, get on this. This is how we get the show up and out there and popular, is engaging with you guys and getting you guys to click those little buttons and get those little dopamine hits and just do it.
Just do it.
Well said.
Wow.
Little hype guy.
He's our hype guy right there, Laura.
I love it.
100%.
All right. Shaker #4, Guardian of the Galaxy #25, Scotty Young, Iron Man by design, a 1 in 15 variant by Marvel in 2010. There is no more unique style than Mr. Scotty Young. I 1000% agree. In the early 2000s and the 2010 variants, comic collecting was different than it is now. During this time frame, Marvel often relied on a theme for their variant covers, such as Thor Goes to Hollywood. These ratio covers are now making a comeback in a big way, especially if that cover is by an artist who has seen an avalanche of notoriety. This book was actually mentioned in the previous Shaker report in July when we covered Dark Wolverine #85. Both of these Scotty Young character covers were part of the Iron Man by Design theme, which featured several well-known and up-and-coming artists and boasted 26 different covers. It's fun to note how the all-time high is now the high price for a raw, and the graded cost has doubled. Another factor to keep in mind is that this variant of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which was late in its run, was still 4 years long, 4 years before the James Gunn film interpretation, which would redefine the characters and bring them into the spotlight, meaning that there's probably only a few stores that were getting enough of these comics to make that 1 in 15 ratio. Or if they did, they probably didn't get that many ratios. A recent copy of this Scotty Young variant earned Marvel work. A recent copy of Young's early Marvel work. This comic recently sold in a 9.8 for $656.
Damn! There it is.
Right.
There it is. Wow. I'm not surprised. I think this is by far his best cover. Or for me, it's this one and Morbius. Those are like the top two Scotty Young covers I want to get my hands on. But this is awesome. And I think somebody was talking about this over on the Tales channel not too long ago. So I'm not surprised to see this being brought up here.
I like this style, guys.
Like steampunk? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the steampunk. I love the style. I love how it's not like kiddie, like he typically does that the children sort of concept to it. This one, it could go both ways, but I love the way it came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing because as of late, Scotty Young covers, I don't want to say they feel more or less the same, but this one stands out, right? Like it seems something a little more different than we're normally used to. But Scotty Young, I have nothing but love for. In fact, I would say he's in my top 5 people that I'm anticipating meeting at Terrificon next weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm totally bringing books for him to sign.
Oh, man, he is such a nice guy. I'm not trying to do a Gabe and name drop here, but he is a super nice guy. I was in line at my local Third Eye Comics to get something autographed by him, and it was right before one of my son's soccer matches. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking we're going to be late for the game. And one of the people who knows me as the shop is like, "Hey, are you guys going to make it in time?" I said, "I don't think so. It's still got 50 people in front of me." Yeah. And Scotty overheard me because the line kind of wrapped around his booth. And he like flipped open the curtain and he's like, "Hey, you need something signed real fast?" I said, "Dude, that'd be awesome." And he signed my book and then off.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Good stuff.
But I think this one's up there as one of my favorites. I think my all-time favorite Scotty Young cover has to be Mega Man 1. I don't know if you guys know which one I'm talking about.
Mega Man 1.
Yeah.
Marty, wasn't that on our list not too... Oh, hold on. What do we got here? Hold on. I'm still learning buttons. Okay, what are you showing me, Chris? Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
That's
Spider-Gwen.
He's on mute again. Laura, he's on mute. He muted himself.
I was trying not to cough into the mic. Okay, sorry.
Hey, I told you. Laura, see, I bet you the first one was a mute too.
You just proved my point, Chris. Thank you so much for that.
Hit the button.
Where is that stupid button? I'm trying to find it right now. Oh, here we go.
I can't hear you. Press the button. I can't hear you. Press the button, you donut. I can't hear you.
It's Clem Fandango. Can you hear me?
Yeah, obviously, if you press the button. Oh, fucking hell, you've done it again, you press the button. I can't hear you unless you push the button.
Love it.
I mean, we had to have one tonight. It had to happen. Okay, where were we? We were on this one. Here we go. All right. So Guardians of the Galaxy.
Lando was talking about his favorite.
Oh, the Mega Man. Yeah, hold on. I think we had that on our list a while back. But let me just double check.
I actually have it, but if you guys want, at the end of the show, I'll show you guys.
Yeah, we did have this on the list, Marty. It was probably about a year ago this popped up on one of the lists. So
did it?
Yeah,
it looks familiar. It does look familiar.
Yeah, it's a good.
Don't give me the line though. I can't remember what happened yesterday, let alone a year ago. So.
Yeah, I remember because DeVoe was really into Mega Man, so he was like,
he'd be disappointed if you guys didn't know this.
I know, yeah. That's the only reason I remember, because he was so excited about it. Guardians of the Galaxy number 25, Scotty Young, Iron Man by Design, the 1-in-15 ratio from 2010. This put a couple of you on the board, so I'm glad that this isn't an over list.
Yeah,
there's a few on there. Top sale, 9.8, coming in at $656. Whew. All right, what do we got next? Oh, here it is.
It's finally here. If you're lactose intolerant, you might want to turn away. But guys, Milk and Cheese, number 1, slave labor from 1991. So a lot to digest here, but it's not entirely milk cheese. You see what I did there? But
good pun. Good pun.
Very welcome opportunity for me to get the chance to talk about a key this big. I'm honestly flabbergasted. This book marks the honest-to-God first appearance of both Milk and Cheese. Literally, that's insane. You would be hard-pressed to find a singular key that contains the first appearance of 2 household names that are as ubiquitously known as Milk and Cheese. Unless I'm simply unfamiliar with a book out there called Water and Bread number 1, this has to take the cheesecake. Giggity. I can literally feel my brain curdling as I try to analyze this book, but I promise I will get to the data. If you really know your stuff, you would have already recognized that this is actually an Eisner Award winning series that is pretty well known for being one of the subversively funniest independent comics of the 90s. Evan Dorkin, the author, aside from his own work, has worked on a ton of big IPs ranging all the way from Yo Gabba Gabba to Superman. Additionally, the publisher of this book, Slave Labor Graphics, has a very respectable catalog that includes the likes of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac by Yonan Vasquez. I got it right. Yeah,
Perfect.
Yonan Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, their editor-in-chief, Jennifer de Guzman, went on to become the PR and marketing director at Image Comics. We already mentioned that this is an independent comic book from over 3 decades ago, so it should be abundantly clear that the number of copies of this book out in the wild is relatively minuscule. Earlier this year, a CGC 9.8 copy of this book sold for a whopping $950, which is over 3 times as much as the previous sale at this grade 3 years ago. It's tough to say what market conditions exactly led to this sale, but I wanted to show that there are simply plenty of reasons to respect this book. And as a fellow Italian, I got to tell you, we literally cook with majority milk. Hell yeah, this is amazing.
Oh man,
I like it, man. This is really cheesy, you know, but I like it.
Oh, wow. I need like a button for you guys and your
What?
dad.
There's no pun intended.
So many good dad jokes we could put together.
I've never seen this in the wild. Somebody was saying they may have seen like a second or a third print. I'm not sure how many prints it went into, but this is pretty cool.
yeah, there's 8 prints for this. I looked at the reports prior to it because I knew that it would come up, but the sale was for the first printing, 9.8 first printing, and this company, Slave Labor, they didn't make very big runs, so this is pretty impressive.
Wait, how many prints did you say there was?
8. There were 8 prints.
8 prints. Wow.
Yeah,
That's surprising, right? That by itself, I wouldn't expect this to go to an 8th printing.
Well, they were doing micro because this publisher, they're not big, so they were doing these small runs in chunks. So they'd probably do like 1,000 comics here, and then it's sold out. Okay, let's do another one. And just do another one, and that kind of stuff. So
I can see
that's
that.
why there's so many different printings, and they just did minor changes on the inside to annotate the different printings.
Do they? They go all the way to 8? I mean, I guess Image does that. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Milk and Cheese #1, Slave Labor from 1991, with a top sale for a 9.8 coming in at a whopping $950. Did anybody in the chat have this? I don't think anybody did.
I didn't see anything. Yeah.
I only have in my fridge. I don't have the book.
That's
See,
it.
there you go. I need
That's
to put up again. All right, let's keep on cruising. What do we have for shaker #6?
Very good question.
Ooh.
And let me wet my whistle for this one real quick. This is a long read, so bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Number 6 shaker brings.
They're ready, so don't mess up.
Yeah, I bet you do. Your hand's on the button, isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Shaker #6, Patsy Walker #26, published by Marvel in 1950. The one thing for sure to get comic book collectors excited about a comic book is the cover art, especially when it's from a famed artist. Louise Altston may not be a well-known to the average comic book collector, but rest assured, she was an incredible talent with her abilities as a painter, reaching far beyond the realm of comic books. Well, before she entered the world of comic book art, she was a prolific and famous portrait artist. Born in 1910 in Antwerp, Belgium, she began her artistic studies by age 12. In 1939, after a number of successful exhibits in Europe, she moved with her family to New York City and began in earnest her career illustrating children's books, magazines, and ultimately comic books. One of her more prominent positions in 1946 was working for the women's section of the Toronto Star Weekly newspaper, where she provided the illustrations to accompany short stories. She did approximately 40 different installments and Christmas covers for the paper over the course of a number of years. She also did commercial art for Kellogg's and painted covers for Little Golden Books. It was in 1944, however, when she first started working for Timely Comics, providing photorealistic paintings to accompany fictional stories inside Miss America magazines. She eventually branched out from interior art to provide the cover art for teen romance comic books such as Junior Miss, Cindy Smith, Mitzi's Romance, and 4 consecutive issues of Patsy Walker, issues number 25 through 28, in late 1949 and early 1950. These 4 issues of Patsy Walker are tough to find in high grade, so it was nice to see a CGC 7.0 of number 26 sell for just shy of $850 this past week. The character Patsy Walker has an interesting history as she becomes Hellcat, first appearing in Avengers number 144 in 1976. Clearly, Louise Alston was revered by other comic book artists as an homage of her cover art for Patsy Walker number 26, was used in 2016 for a 1 in 15 variant cover of Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat, number 6, by famed artist Julian Totino Tedesco. Raw high-grade copies of this comic are listed in the $75 to $100 range. Great to see this tip of the hat to such an important and prolific Golden Age artist. Note, early on, as a portrait artist, Alston was commissioned by the families of George and Barbara Bush, famed jazz musician Tommy Dorsey, the DuPonts, and the Woolworth family, among others. Woo!
Well done, sir.
Yeah.
You nailed that. I was waiting and nothing. You just perfect read, Marty. Chef's kiss. Well done.
Nah, I appreciate that, but I did fumble a couple times. I caught myself, but yeah.
Not enough to initiate the bingo, though. It wasn't quite there.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat was saying this looks like Norman Rockwell, and it does have that same vibe. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
When you read the part about the Little Golden Books, man, that's where I've seen this art style. And yes, it does look like Norm Rockwell, but Little Golden Books, I got a bunch of vintage Little Golden Books, and this is the exact like coloring and art style that's in those books. So yeah, that's awesome.
It did sound like a book report a little bit. Yeah, that's awesome. Lando, what do you think of this?
I love it. And in fact,
it sure was, wasn't it? It's a history story, wasn't it? A little bit, got a little background, you got a little history.
It was fantastic. Marty did amazing. But Patsy Walker, in fact, guys, I came into comics a little later, right? It was in the 90s. And then after, when we got Hellcat, obviously I wanted to know who Patsy Walker was. And falling into this, the covers, first and foremost, Patsy Walker, I love all the covers. If you go earlier, like the cartoony style, like I really like the work. And I think this is a great book. $840 doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, for that grade too. I mean, as Tiva would say, that's some time traveling shit right there. Like take that 7.0.
That sure is.
Yep.
That's impressive. I
like the read at the bottom there. Don't miss Patsy Walker in 2 dates are better than 1.
Yeah.
What a hussy.
What a hussy. Yeah, exactly, Chris.
He's like calculating how he's going to handle this. Yeah, this is awesome. This is a cool book. Whoever picked this up, this is money well spent. 85 of you in the house. Welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. This is the full Shakers crew tonight, too. So you got the full house. We got Chris, we got Marty, we got Lando. So it's nice to have everybody here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Patsy Walker, number 26, is coming in as Shaker number, what was that? 6? Shaker number 6.
Number 6, yes.
Let's move on to number 7.
Oh. Number 7, Shaker number 7 is Savage Dragon number 190. This is, yes, Image Comics, but this particular version is the limited digest edition by Image in 2013. When it comes to Image Comics, there are 2 major titles that debuted at launch: Spawn, of course, and Savage Dragon. Eric Larson created the dragon prior to the inception of Image Comics. However, this redesign of the character was so popular that the dragon was moved from a limited series to an ongoing monthly release. The series continues to this day, making it one of the longest running comic books featuring the same artist and writer, because it's the same guy, throughout the series. This book features a phenomenal cover by Larson depicting Savage Dragon going blow for blow with Mako. There are two versions of this book released, a standard comic and a deluxe digest edition, running at a whopping 64 pages. This deluxe edition has a steady growing fair market value for a near mint averaging around $40 to $50. This past week, a near mint plus book went for an astounding $112, setting an all-time new high record. As you guys can hear the dogs in the background.
It's on the bingo card.
On the bingo card.
It is. Yeah.
This past April, a CGC 9.8 sold for $180. 9.8 for what I imagine is probably a square bound, right? It's 64 pages. I don't know. According to the CGC census, there are only 2 digest editions graded at 9.8. This book has all the signs of being undervalued and might see more listings with this latest sale. Man, Savage Dragon punching a shark. I remember Savage Dragon when it first came out. I really liked the story. He was a cop. He had this like cool thing going on with kind of like I'm going to follow the rules, but I'm going to bend them when I need to kind of thing, In
that voice too.
But, yeah, I don't know. This I picked up a couple Savage Dragons in the 300s, I think, and man, it's gotten kind of weird.
Is that it? Who is that he's fighting on the cover?
The character's name is Mako. I know it looks
Mako.
Yeah,
but it's Mako.
Yeah, it looks like a DC character, right?
Yeah. Certainly doesn't look like the person selling you insurance.
Yeah.
No,
Marty, I was gonna say it's a grown-up shark boy, but
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But it is crazy when you factor what you were just saying about how this is pretty much one of the longest running indie series going. Like it's still going. Like we've gotten to the point where even now Clayton Crane's doing some covers for Savage Dragon. This is awesome. I mean, I personally didn't even know that there was a limited digest edition for this. So yeah, cool to see it on the list.
It is really cool.
One of my favorite Savage Dragon comics is the crossover with Ren and Stimpy. I think.
Oh, yeah. Did they really do one?
Yeah, it was Toaster Man, right? He's fighting Toaster on the cover. It's awesome.
We'll have to get that one on the list eventually here. I don't think anybody in the chat had this, so it's kind of cool. Savage Dragon number 190, the limited digest edition from Image back in 2013. A near mint raw coming in at $113 seems reasonable. And guys, we just hit the 90s, so if we can get to 100 before this show ends, I will be very happy with that. I appreciate it. What do we have for number 8?
Numero 8. Yes, I went French. Number 8, guys. Spider-Man Collectible Series number 1. Who isn't a Spidey fan? Come on, guys. If anybody says so, I'll be disappointed. But Spider-Man Collectible Series number 1. This reprints and first and foremost, reprints and facsimiles have flooded the market over the last few years. And while they vary in value on the aftermarket, sometimes these reprints can find their way to lofty numbers. This week, a reprint of the first appearance of Spider-Man hit an all-time high for a 9.8 at $1,150. In 2006, a series of reprints of Spidey's biggest stories were released to the public as inserts within Sunday newspapers and sent out to subscribers across the country. While most of these famous issues were split into 2 volumes, Amazing Fantasy 15 was the only one of the lot that was sent in a single issue. One could assume many of these were probably tossed away, and with the book being given out as an insert in a newspaper, finding copies in near mint condition can be extremely difficult. As such, this book has seen steady high sales in the few times it has changed hands, and this week was no different. I think factoring that, the fact, the newspaper and finding near mint copies being relatively difficult, hey,
Yeah.
there's by no means am I going to be able to afford the actual Amazing Fantasy 15.
No.
And given that backstory, I'd be happy to show this off.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean I think the earliest of my Spider-Man run, volume 1, of course, is number 7. And anything below that, I've noticed have really become out of my reach. So, this one for sure, Amazing Fantasy number 15. No,
Yeah,
I can't do it.
So
I got some mouths to feed,
Yeah.
well, I feel you.
I'm going to be on the opposite spectrum.
All
I mean,
right.
yeah, Amazing Fantasy number 15 is an awesome book, the original. But this is something that was in newspapers. It was insert in Sunday newspapers. So many of these went out in 2006. I know that something in a newspaper that gets wrapped up and banded and thrown on your lawn is unlikely to get a 9.8, but there were still newspaper machines or vending machines all over the big cities, and if these were into the Sunday paper, I don't know. I don't think that these are as rare as the price dictates.
You don't think so? I mean, because typically Sunday papers were widely thrown away, right? And it were thrown out along with this, or not, whatever could have happened, right? So I don't see many of these going around. I really don't, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I agree.
A debate is brewing. I like it when the panel's not all on one page and we kind of get different angles at it.
I'll stick with my side on this one. I mean, I appreciate your opinion, but
we need to look it up on the census and just see what's on the census.
Yeah, I'll check that.
Now, if this was a 1970s newspaper insert, I'd be all over it. I would say yes, absolutely. But 2006, I don't know. I'm just not buying it.
I think for this one, I'm kind of in between. I think it's more about the condition. Being able to find a 9.8 like this is what justifies the price.
I just can't afford an AF-15, so that's my sale.
Do it as a placeholder, right? Yeah, lots of them in the trash. So, Lando, are you looking that up for me?
Yes, I'm in the process, just signing in on my CGC account.
There we go. We'll find out, because I mean, I didn't know they graded these. Look at Spidey Guy Murph. I'm not surprised you have him though. The black spine on these again, spine tick magnet. So that 9.8
Yo, for sure, yeah.
So maybe not the rarity, but maybe just the condition. Oh, go ahead.
Are we ready to find out the numbers, guys? I drum roll. In a CGC 9.8, 7 universal and 3 signs, so 10 total. Yes.
That's hella low. Well, there you go.
Very low. Very low.
All right. Spider-Man Collectible Series number 1 from Marvel back in 2006 with a 9.8 coming in just over $1,100. So if you have one of these in good condition, you're definitely in the 10 that are out there. All right. Here we keep going. What do we have for, let's see, shaker number 2. We're almost done, guys.
Yeah. Look at this one. Number 9 shaker brings you Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego number 1. This is the direct sale published by DC in 1996. We covered this book around 3 years ago, but for the infamous DC logo variant edition. This time, we have the regular issue fetching a record high sale of $480 for a CGC 9.8. For those unfamiliar with Carmen Sandiego, it was initially conceived as a video game by the classic software company Broderbund in 1985. Broderbund was known for its educationally stylized content, and most of its earlier releases were popularized through classrooms and teaching environments. As you might expect, Carmen Sandiego's premise revolved around geographic and cultural subject matters, and thus evolved due to the informative stories children could learn from. Eventually, Broderbund originally concept expanded to a numerous other forms of media, including film, television game shows, animation shows, comic books, and even a musical. Returning to this week's feature, we're excited to see this book on the list. Currently, the census only holds 4 of these 9.8 grades on their site, and why this doubles our last recorded sale of $250, it's great to see books like this resurfacing, as it shows people are still interested in finding out where in the world is Carmen Sandiego.
Ah,
Yes.
This is awesome. How cool.
Where in the world is Carmen?
Yeah.
We're all going to be thinking that the rest of the night, right?
It's in all of your heads. The brainworm is there. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're gonna go to bed singing that tune now.
For sure. Dude, I saw the slides and I was like, no, it's back in my head from when I was a kid. I used to watch this religiously, man, with my dad.
Right after Beekman's World. Yep.
Oh, it was just so good. And yes, that song lives rent-free in my head.
Rent free. There we go.
That and Inspector Gadget. When I hear that song, I get stuck in my head.
Oh,
I remember playing this game back in 1985. It was great. Oh, man. I would just spend hours going through this game trying to undo the clues and looking in my Encyclopedia Britannica for clues to figure out. There was no internet at that time. Couldn't Google it.
Yeah.
You millennials.
Millennials, right?
All right, Marty, the chat is asking, and I want you to answer this. Which one would you
Yes.
go for? Would you go for Waldo or Carmen?
Oh, definitely Carmen.
Who is?
Absolutely Carmen.
All right. Lando?
Yeah, I'm going Carmen. We still don't know. I found Waldo in a book. We don't know where Carmen is.
Well, all Waldo does is just hang around a bunch of people. He's in the middle of just a bunch of things, and all you gotta do is point him out. You know.
I think
Yeah,
you should
but
get
dude,
away.
She's got
You felt so good when you finally found that striped fucker in the
Yes.
crowd. You're like, yes, there he is. And it would be like the highlight of your week finding that guy. So I don't know. I'm going
Clip
Waldo.
Clip that.
No, we're not
Oh,
clipping. We're not clipping.
Uh,
Anyway. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego #1? Direct sales from 1996, a 9.8 coming in at $480, guys. I know, my bad. I'll be careful with my language. Waldo is a creep and Carmen is a sneak. Ah, that's nice. No, we're not clipping that. Last but not least, the final shaker of the week. What do we got?
Oh, let's see. This is work. Can you share that video? I got my thing there, Laura.
Let's see. Hold on. I have to take this down. Give me a second. I think I go like this.
So the amazing Murfinator just sent me a text, and he had the flex on his Amazing Spider-Man 15, Amazing Fantasy 15. I'm sorry, and he just kind of sent me the photos. I'm like, okay, nice flex. Yeah, very good. So congratulations there, the amazing Murfinator.
Well done. All right, what is this, Chris? What did you put up?
Hit the play button for me. It's only like 5 seconds.
I tell you, it's a big W.
Okay, so it's a mad world. Old movie, because I'm an old guy. But when we look at this cover, if you can go back to the Witchblade.
Hold on, I want to play it one more time.
I tell you, it's a big W.
Big W. Love it. Okay.
We should keep this for whenever one of us win a debate. It's a big W.
That's
Big
true.
W.
That's true.
Big
I like that. I can keep this. I can put it in the running. All right.
There we go. It's a great big W, right? Obviously, this is a homage to the classic X-Men cover that was featured in the Deadpool movie. But this is Witchblade number 170, Mark Silvestri. This is the sketch variant 1 in 5. The color version of this is very pretty, but the sketch variant is the ratio. And a 1 in 5 wasn't that hard to get for comic book stores. This was back in 1995, though, and ratio covers were not a big thing back then. The artist Mark Silvestri was just about finished on his run of Ultimate X-Men number in 1989 when he penciled the now classic Wolverine Crucifixion cover for issue number 251. After featuring prominently at the start of Deadpool and Wolverine, Uncanny 251 has blown up on the secondary market, leading to the production of new homages while reflecting some shine on the past ones. Produced in 1995, Witchblade number 170 and its 1 of 5 sketch variant has recently seen increased collector interest thanks to the new Deadpool movie. In 1995, Silvestri had since moved out with the crew of Jim Lee, Will Portacio.
Wait, what was that?
Bert Herngreif, Irv Hermlinger, Bing Livehanger, Livelink, Bert Herkern, Bingo Lingfucker.
Laura was quick on the draw there.
She was. Well, she had that ready for me earlier, so she still had her finger on the button, man.
I saw the opportunity. I went for it.
How do you say it?
Which name?
Portacio?
It's Portacio.
It's Whilce Portacio. Yeah, Whilce Portacio.
Not that far off. I mean, come on.
Portacio.
That's in horseshoe range or hand grenade.
Sure.
Rob Liefeld, Eric Larson, Todd McFarlane, and Jim Valentino to form Image Comics and the banner Top Cow. While this hasn't seen much of a jump compared to the sketch version, the A cover for Witchblade number 170 has been hovering around $20 for near mint raws and $80 for a graded 9.8. Recently, a raw copy of this 1 in 5 sketch variant sold for $125, a 25% jump past the near mint raw sales. As of now, the only recorded sale of a graded 9.8 copy came back in 2020, prime COVID, which sold for $180, which I would say is undervalued based on this 125 near mint raw dog sale that just happened within the last week.
Yep.
All right. Well done.
Nice.
There you go.
Big dog.
Love this cover.
About this, it's a cool nod to a cool cover by a good artist.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I love this. And in fact, of course, with all the Deadpool stuff, like you were just saying, it's normal. Issue 251 spiked. I love this. I love the W on it rather than the X. So it's very fitting. 1 in 5, though. You said, 1 in 5. You're looking back at 1995. I don't know just how many shops were ordering so many copies of Witchblade. But I'm curious to know how many were printed. That's something I'm going to look up after the show.
Yeah, I'd like to know too, because you got 1995, you got that, got the bubble going on at this time, right?
Yep.
So, and they're printing everything out, and Witchblades were getting thrown out there. I mean, everything was out there. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a really high ratio on this bad boy.
Yeah.
I want to check out the color. I'm not usually a fan of sketch variants. I always kind of feel like, aside from like Frank Cho, I think that when you take the color off, it just loses something for me. I mean, collect what you like, obviously, but I want to see the color version of this and see what that looks like. But yeah, that was our last shaker, guys. Witchblade number 170, the Mark Silvestri sketch 1 in 5 from 1995 with a near mint raw coming in at 125. Now, who's going to do share screen? Is it going to be Marty or Chris for our seamless
Let Chris do it, man. I think Chris does a great job. He reads really well with the links and everything like that. So I think let's give it to Chris. I think he does a great job.
While he's doing that, let's see. Lando, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Come up with a trivia question that we're going to ask the chat right after we're done looking at what's shaking. And whoever gets that answer, I'll put a starting line. Whoever gets the answer, I'll do a giveaway tonight because you guys
What
have
are
been
you giving
awesome.
away?
I don't know. I'll find something good. I'll go into the warehouse. I'll find something good. I'm not sure yet, but I'll pick something because we hit over 100 live and that's what I wanted. Yeah. So Lando's going to think about it while we show you what's shaking. Then we'll do the giveaway at the very end.
So I'll think the trivia question.
I'm reading the script, right? And the script said 1995, but I think it was later than that. And it looks like we have a comment saying the same thing. Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey Fonzo. Shout out, because I'm looking at this and we have the 2013, 2010, and 2012 for number 162. So 170. Here's your cover, Laura.
There's the color. Oh my god, that's so much better in color, isn't it? It's very reminiscent of the original. I like that. Yeah.
Very pretty. I really like it. Gorgeous cover. I'd rather have the color one than the sketch. I might actually go pick this up this weekend because
that's gorgeous. Yeah, that is the gorgeous cover. Absolutely.
I definitely like the nod, but I'm pretty sure this should be 2012, 2013. So that changes the story on the variants. Obviously, there are a lot more variants in 2013. But still stands that it's a neat cover and definitely something that people should be looking for. Okay.
All right.
So here we go. Here we are. This is, hey, look at that. That's our show right now. That's what we're on. I can
we're live.
YouTube and
Live.
so fair enough.
All right.
So Daily Shakers. Let's take a look at this.
All right.
Right. So this report, this is something that changes multiple times a day. I love going in there, just seeing the new things that pop up in the top 50. Those are the most interesting things to me. I like sorting by the variant covers to see what variants pop up. These aren't based on the quantity of sales. These are based on the quality of sales. So when you have this Kiss, number one from 1977, which was a 9.8, which sold for $4,635. That's something that's going to make the Shakers list, and it's loading right now. So this is the second appearance of Kiss in comics. Look at that! It's got.
Didn't they do that in Blood too?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this was the Blood one, but
yeah.
Oh, yeah, here we go, right there, printed in real Kiss blood. But
look, you were right, Marty. Damn. Well done.
This is probably why it's spiked, because it's got Doom on the cover. Or
there you go. There you go.
I mean, it probably belonged in Tuesday's show. How come you didn't read this, Laura? I'm kidding.
You're right. My bad.
It's your bad. It's your bad.
$4,635. That was just yesterday. Awesome cover, awesome comic. But I wouldn't even know about this if it, was. I mean, I knew about the Kiss comics, but I didn't know that it spiked if I wasn't looking at this report.
The Fables stuff is the best.
What was that?
I said the Daily Shakers is my favorite feature on the website.
Absolutely. So a lot of these are the things that we see pretty often. This Batman is always spiking.
Yeah.
It's always.
Wait, click on the Human Torch for me. Go up one. I want to see that Human Torch cover with the girl. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a 1947 Human Torch from was it Timely Comics at this time point? I know it's
Timely Comics.
I think it was Marvel.
Timely, right?
God, that's beautiful. That is
the Asbestos Lady. The Asbestos Lady?
Asbestos.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
She'll not only rob your bank, she'll give you lung cancer.
Absolutely. if not that, COPD or something, right?
Right.
Damn, that's a good deal too.
Very cool.
Beautiful cover though. I love it.
That's awesome. I mean, a 6.5 for $2,500, something that was pre-1950. I mean, come on.
It's amazing.
This is one of those amazing Iron Man covers.
Yeah.
This is great. I love this thing. Premier issue number 1. Obviously not the first appearance of Iron Man, but the first self-titled ongoing title and the origin of Iron Man.
Right.
Beautiful colors, beautiful blues and purples. You just don't see this right now. I don't know. I like the old font. Very, very partial to it. And $750 for a raw on that's a steal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Lando, you know how to do this, right? Don't be shy. Call out if you want him to click on something.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I already see
this is something I haven't seen before.
Really?
What's that one?
Campbell?
That's the Black Cat.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's definitely a Black Cat. It's number 1. Okay, this is one of the variants to it. Then I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's insanely
Le
rare.
Chat Noir.
So if I'm not mistaken, this was actually available on his website, and there's not many prints available out there.
Yeah.
So
this is a Campbell, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, and it's
okay. Yeah.
It's very up there in price, as you can see. It's at 1,125, which is the most common in a CGC 9.8. But yeah, it is fantastic. Such a
this series had some really amazing variants to it too. Some great work done on it. So if you're a variant chaser, this would definitely be a chore for you.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's a perfect book.
So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to do one of the things I like to do. I'm going to filter and only show variants.
That's a nice feature. Well done, Cover Price.
Oh yeah.
So here we got Invincible Returns. This is a 1 in 10 ratio, going for a nice price, $850 for appearance of Thrag.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Oh.
Here's a normal cover right here, and then you have we just talked about Eric Larson. Here's another Eric Larson right here.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Let's see what else.
Go to that one right there, the Star Wars Rogue cover. Go to that one. I'm curious to see what that's fetching for.
So here's your Star Wars Rogue One adaptation. This is the Walmart variant. So this was bundled with a number of books.
Rogue One's so good. Arguably one of the best Star Wars, I would say.
You know, I really loved it. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Way better than that trash Acolyte series.
Yeah.
You're going to start a war in the chat right now.
My favorite so far, definitely. I love Rogue, but Rogue, Obi-Wan Kenobi, still my favorite so far.
I actually really enjoyed Andor.
Andor was good.
Yeah.
Here's another one that's pretty expensive. The mail away Wonder Comics by John Tyler Christopher. That's up there in price as well. But I got 5 of these in the regular version.
In the regular version, yeah.
I'm lucky enough to pick up the Walmart version. This is one of the only Walmart variants that's not a DC logo. That's worth a lot of money. So, these are still findable in collections because a lot of people just grabbed it on at checkout. It was an impulse buy.
Yeah, hit that Hulk 337, please. Michael Baker, I saw your comment, and yes, I love this cover because you don't.
Is this the error printing or the third printing with the error?
It's like an odd green color.
Yeah, exactly. You don't come across these too often, man. So seeing such a sale, I'm not surprised. $618 as the last recorded sale. Yeah, no surprise.
Yeah, I'm slowly working on filling up my collection of these. I've got a couple of them.
Hold on, I'm gonna flex. Can you guys see behind me right here?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. I have all 3.
Look at Laura. Look at Laura.
But do you have the Finish edition, Laura?
Yeah.
No, I only have
the Finish edition.
No, I don't have that one. Damn.
I'm happy you're putting this one up because international comics, I've noticed such a trend. Like they're pretty sought out after.
There's a niche for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've seen that too.
Yep. Oh, here's the newsstand variant of the Big X.
Yeah, that was on the top 10.
Yeah.
Not surprised to see that one on here. It's a good book too. It's one of those books everybody needs to own if they can track it down at this point.
Right.
I've got one. It's not a very clean copy, but I've got one.
What's that TMNT 1 in 500?
Buck Rogers. There's the Buck Rogers variant right there. And there's that little silver thing there. Yeah, this little silver robot you were talking about, remember?
I see it.
Yeah.
Which TMT one were you talking about?
On the far left, the 1 in 500. I'm just curious.
This one just came out. And they my LCS had one. But they were asking for a lot more money than I wanted to spend. But look at this. Look at it.
More than 265?
Wow.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful cover, man.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I'm actually surprised because, it's a 1 in 500. Usually such ratios, you don't imagine it would go for nearly half the ratio price, I guess we can say, simply because 500, we're near the 250 mark. But, look how many covers for this one exist.
You see that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, the print run for this is so low, though. You're talking like 1,000 print runs. So each store that did this probably got 2.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, just look.
Oh my God.
Wow, look at all that. Wow.
variants.
Variants galore, man.
Wild.
That's insane.
I love these Tyler Kirkman's the blood splatter pose ones. Those are all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very neat.
Very cool.
The other thing that you could do is you can see what of your collection might be in the Shaker report.
As soon as I can figure out how to do that, I will have my collection. I'm still trying to mess with it.
Marty, I just started, to be honest with you. It's relatively easy. It's so fast to get it done. I'm only like 6 books in, and it shows my estimated value. I think it's like 2,000 something. So I'm like, okay, we're doing good so far.
Oh, gotcha. I'm trying to transfer my CLZ to the cover price, you know, to make it easier, because if I tried to do one at a time or like a few at a time, man, I'll be here for years, dude.
Yeah.
So the majority of the comics in my collection come from bulk buys. I mean, I have a few that I targeted. Like I targeted the Spider-Man 300. I managed to pick this up for $250.
Nice.
It's mine's not graded though, so keep in mind that the graded price, that's not necessarily the one.
Yeah.
And both of these Spider-Man, I managed to pick up for 100 on the Secret Wars and 125 for the 252. But my bulk buying has turned out some great buys. I ended up getting 2 of these Swamp Things in a Goodwill bulk buy. I paid $50 for something at Goodwill.com, their shop.com, and I ended up getting 2 of these Swamp Things.
Amazing.
That's a nice tip. You just told everybody
That
your
is
secret.
a really great tip.
Now.
I'm going on Goodwill.com tonight and buying every bulk box I can.
Me too, Marty. Me too.
Yeah. We'll do it.
My Star Wars number 42, I got at a flea market. I paid $20 for it.
That's a good find, dude. That's a good find.
This guy, I have a really low quality version of this, but I think
dude,
who cares?
Dude, man, hey, dude, me and my boy Ray Jr., we used to say better a low grade than a no grade. You know what I mean? You can always go up from there.
Amen.
Yeah, I think mine's probably a 3.5. But I paid $20 for it, and I was really happy to have it.
Hell
yeah, Daily Shakers, it's awesome. You can sort your collection. One of the things that I also saw that was pretty cool is I can sort my collection by recently added. So you can see, like, I can show all the things that I just recently picked up. These are all the ones that I recently picked up, including one of my new favorite covers, the Tubby Captain Yo-Yo 4-color 381 fiddle load.
You're not picking up small books as of late, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. I mean, you're getting some deal on some big boy books there, buddy.
Yeah. This last book that I had Wolverine #1, She-Hulk #1, 6 of the Walking Dead series in the numbers below 12, but number 3 was
nice.
And I picked up all that stack. I think I paid $250. And I was really targeting the Wolverine #1, knowing that I can get the Walking Deads and make up the money for the cost of getting these this comic, basically. So yeah, I mean that's the kind of stuff that I do. This is the kind of stuff that you guys can do. CVS does imports to Cover Price. I track my entire collection on Cover Price, and then everything that's on my store I track separately. But it's great. It's fantastic. I know exactly what's happening with my collection at all times. And if my house burns down, I have a copy for my insurance records.
There you go.
All right. Lando, it's time. I put you on the spot earlier, so now it's your turn. What is the trivia question? I'm going to put the starting line in as soon as you ask it, and whoever gets it, I'll stick you guys something nice. I don't even know what, but I'll do something. So what do you got for me?
So you guys shoved it in my face by reminding me I can never own an Amazing Fantasy 15. So I'm going to send it back to you guys. Amazing Fantasy 15. What year did that book come out? What was the release?
The original Amazing.
The original AF-15. And in the
line's
meantime,
in.
in the meantime, I spoke of the Scotty Young book. Mega Man.
There
Look at that.
it is.
There you go.
Oh, beautiful,
That's
man.
it. Yeah, we covered
There
this,
it is,
Marty. You
yeah.
remember? It was a while ago, but
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Maybe biased. Maybe biased.
Maybe bias. Just a little.
is it
Well,
1962?
It is 1962.
So on my end, I have Eric Perry
Eric-
coming in with the win.
Yep. Eric takes the
Well
the
done.
W. That was fast.
Good job. Congrats, man. Congrats.
What's Eric win, Laura? We never disclosed what the prize was.
They get Amazing Fantasy number 15 by Laura. That's what
I
they
think
get.
what I'll do is we're almost sold out of our San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, the Lobos. I think I'll send him one. Or unless you want the Frizen. If you DM me, I'll let you pick. DM me on Instagram, though, and if you don't, I'm going to forget. So DM Mrs. Bird City and tell me if you either want our San Diego Comic-Con Frizen or Lobos, and then I'll see what I can do from there.
Dude, Eric, you just jumped the line in front of both Lando and I, who wanted that comic from Laura.
Yeah, man. That's why I was
shit, really?
What is up with that?
Which one, the Lobos or the Frizen?
Yes.
They're both, right? Both of them are so good.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. I told you guys, I get so freaking busy throughout the week that
She gets busy. He's
everything.
scattered all over the place, man. You got to remind her. You got to remind her.
It's my daughter's birthday today, and I'm
Yeah.
here with you guys because I want to.
That's right.
Yeah, you know,
Have a party after this, guys. Let's go.
Happy birthday to Laura Stark in the chat. Let's get it. Like, share, and subscribe. Laura's got to go cut the cake and serve up the punch.
Yeah.
Let's play it out.
Yeah, let's do this. All right. So, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back on Tuesday. I got Marty and I got Gabe and I got Zach on Tuesday. So make sure you guys tune in for the top 10. In the meantime, let's do a little round table. I'm going to start with you, Chris. Say your goodbyes.
Happy birthday to your daughter, first of all. My birthday's
Thank you.
coming up this month also, which is, pretty cool because I'm just going to become an older man. You guys can find me on Instagram at Dr. Yo-Yo. Same thing on Twitter and Threads and MySpace and LinkedIn and all the other things. So just hit me up. We can talk comics. I got my eBay store linked in my link tree in my bio.
Lord of Brooklyn, like he always is giving me crap, but he loves my kid. Like I can tell. She is a Swiftie. She definitely is. All right. Black Crown, you're up next.
Yeah, well, you guys can find me over on Instagram as well, right there. You just Black Crown Comics, one word. And of course, over on my channel every Sunday, going live 9 p.m. Eastern time. Check that out. But the only thing I really want you guys to do is hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, show some love, because I'm so happy again to be part of this family. And I want to shout out everybody here who commented, DM'd me, congratulated me. The comments were popping last week. So everybody catching the replay this week, make sure to comment below. Let us know what you thought about the show and show some love, guys. And if you didn't get to be part of the live chat, I want to know how many books you made out of those 10 on the list.
Yeah,
absolutely. Very true. We never tell them to do that, but it helps so much when you guys comment after the show. Last but not least, Marty.
I can't follow these guys, man. Come on. I can't follow them. These guys, but nevertheless, I must say, may the comic gods and our friend TiVo continue to bless your long boxes, your short boxes, your collection, and may you guys always be happy with all the comic books you have. Excelsior.
Excelsior. Love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week. Have a good night.
Adios.
Bye.
For the entire crew, this is Tebow saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.